shit happens. Next up, we have a very soothing voice. She is funny as all hell, but she'll put you in your zen for sure. Miss Melissa.
Thank you. All right. Hi, everyone. Tonight, we're workshopping some jokes, so it's going to be pretty raw, just like Nicole's asshole. All right. The other day, somebody came up to me and was like, did you know that you can still get coronavirus even if you get vaccinated?
Yes.
And I said, well, of course. I got Gardasil and still got HPV. Yeah. Anybody here got the vaccine? Anybody? Yeah. Did you get Gardasil or Cervarix? No, I'm just playing. Yeah, and it's interesting. I find it fascinating how men specifically, but like it's only because I got my HPV from a man, so I can't really speak for others. But men really like to say stuff to women when they tell them like, ooh, I think I might have something, that they're disgusting and gross, right? And it's like, motherfucker, I wasn't born with it. It came from someone, and I'm pretty sure it was you. Yeah. I don't know how that ends, but that's a fucking thought. It kind of sounds like projection, you know what I mean? Now, I kind of find a similarity between mental illness and sexually transmitted diseases, because people can lie about not having them, but eventually you find out. And I got both. I'm not over here talking shit like I don't have my own diagnoses. I just told you I had HPV. Yep, I do, you guys. Who wants to fuck? Now, what I say on stage generally is not specific to a person. It's not directed at one person particularly, right? But if it identifies with something within you, like, let it resonate. You know what I mean? If I say that, like, someone's a piece of shit, and you're like, hey, let it resonate. Now, I am a yoga teacher. Thank you. Yeah, and I like to teach my students about how, like, not to just simply identify with the body, right? And not to identify with just the mind. And when you identify just with the body, then it's like, oh shit, well I gotta like figure some things out, I'm pretty unhealthy. And if you identify with just the mind, fuck, I gotta figure some things out. Like, I have a lot of thoughts that are going around in my mind, right? And so I help my students kind of identify with something greater, something higher. And when I tell people that I'm a yoga teacher, a lot of people say like, oh, well then you must be really flexible. And by people, I mean men. Men really like to tell me I'm flexible. And I say, yeah, I can bend in ways that you've never seen to take that soft pretzel dick of yours. The other thing I hear a lot of is, you must be really chill if you're a yoga teacher, And I say, no, we all go to that practice because we're mentally ill. So. Now, I talk a lot about dating. I talk a lot about men in my comedy. And I do have like a Jane Goodall approach with men, like I study them from a distance because you can't trust them. They're almost humans, right? Like the chimpanzees, like they're like 99%, the same. But I find that men and women are very similar, I think that like men really like to, get like nice cars, for example, to like show off to their buddies. And women like to get nice purses to show off to their girlfriends, right? Men like to talk about sports and chop it up, and ladies have their own like reality shows or what have you, right? And a lot of times when men like to talk about like what they're looking for in a woman, they like to say stuff like, I would love it if she was like into sports, right? And I would love it if she was a gamer, yeah? And I don't know, like someone who I could just chop it up with and maybe, like is also into cars. And so fellas, I just have a question. Have you ever tried sucking a dick? Because it sounds like you just want to date one of your boys. No? I highly recommend it. Yeah, you might like it. That's what men tell lesbians all the time. How do you know if you've never tried it?
Good point.
You might.
I know.
Yeah.
I've changed my behavior because of games.
Men are aggressive, period. Not just gay men, okay. So I am doing a lot of work with my therapist right now through the lens of attachment theory. Have you guys heard of attachment theory? Cool. Cool. There are 3 kinds, right? The first is avoidant, right? So someone who's afraid of intimacy kind of runs away from vulnerability, feels uncomfortable when things get too close. Gentlemen, I think you know what I'm talking about. And then the second is anxious, and that is when, you cling to someone and you feel them withdraw, and you are open and seeking connection, right? And the third is secure, where it's like they're comfortable with vulnerability and comfortable with sharing emotions, and they want connection and commitment. And through that lens of attachment theory, my therapist and I have been talking about how my father is like famously avoidant and a narcissist, but that's another thing. And my mother is secure. And so I had an aha moment where I found that like my type is my dad. Talk about daddy issues on a Saturday night, right? So now, with the help of my therapist, I guess you could say I'm trying to fuck my mom. Yeah. And it's classic Freudian psychology that, if you are looking for someone, you're inevitably trying to fuck a parent, right? You're trying to like fill a void of like what was or was not. And I think that's why a lot of men are into choking. They're like, shut up, mom, How much time do I have? Because these are all the jokes that I got that are new. Oh, word, yeah, I did not. All right, let's go. So I'm an Irish Catholic, coming from a big family. Yeah, you're fine, dude. I walked her, that's cool. Thanks for supporting me. Now, thank you for laughing, Paco. I'm gonna think about that later. Yeah, from a big Irish Catholic family, my mother is one of 16 kids. And leave it to the Catholics to believe in the Immaculate Conception, but not birth control. Super tight. I think that they think about, like keeping the odds up for the priests. They're like, hey, the more kids you have, the more options that Father John gets. So like, just keep them pumping out, right? And being a redhead, being Irish, I get a lot of like, hey, does the carpet match the pubes kind of talk, right? And a lot of times, like, women these days like to, shave or wax completely, and we call that hardwood floors, where it's not a carpet or a rug to be munched. And for me, I'm a recovering Catholic, so I went a little bit more biblical with it. I have a burning bush. So if you want to see God, come see me. That's my Now, it's interesting, I grew up before like the whole ginger thing, which I'm really grateful for because I think kids suck and I was bullied enough growing up, but like hearing that I don't have a soul as a child probably would have fucked me up pretty good, And there's actually a holiday, annual holiday of Kick a Ginger Day, which is real. I don't actually know the day, but there is also a Fuck a Ginger Day, and it just so happens to be my birthday. It's weird. Thank you very much. What else we got here? Why not suck a dick, my crab? Is that improvised for you? Yeah? Make my piece go. You're not mine either, sweetie. Let's think. You get good at what you practice, right? So practicing for me has been full of compassion and stuff that like isn't really funny off the cuff. Because I'm not just like a funny person. I'm not always trying to like find the funny in things. I also just try to live in like a spiritual way. So as far as like more writing goes, I haven't really written any other jokes. So appreciate you guys.
Kiss!
That's behind closed doors later, okay? Who the fuck's got my notebook? Because I am old and have a shitty memory. They call it CRS. Can't remember shit. Get it? But Melissa, where'd she go?
She's right outside.
I get the whole yoga thing. Like as soon as you tell like a guy you do yoga, he's like, oh my god, you do yoga? So you can probably put your head in my asshole and your asshole at the same time. And I'd like to see them get on a yoga mat and actually try to do yoga because most of them probably couldn't get through it. Next up, I have Miss Julia, the very talented Miss Julia. Yeah, guys, give it up, give it up.
Everybody, give it up for Nicole. She's so fabulous. Not even fabulous, fabulous. Okay, here we go. All the dudes chilling outside. Fuck that, we're having a better time. Here we go. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. You're cool. You're cool. Anyway, okay. So I love Hawaii like straight up because there's so much creativity. You know, there's a lot of TV shows and movies that shoot here. And actually, you might recognize me from some of those shows. Oh my gosh, here is my monologue from Hawaii 5-0. Would you like the chicken or the fish? And scene. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It's hard being an actor, you know. There's a lot of pressure to look as young and thin as possible. I walked into this one audition and I sucked in my tummy as much as I could, and I was like, "Hi, I'm here to audition for the role of the anorexic daughter." And the director was like, "No, you're here to play the mom." And I was like, "Oh, thank God." My Spanx nearly exploded. And I auditioned for NCIS, and my mom's obsessed with that show. I didn't get the part, but she still tells her friends, she's like, you know, Julia almost played a dead body on NCIS. I mean, Mark Harmon was supposed to touch her toe. She's the best. She's the best. She actually sent me to college for acting, and it's coming along, you know? My last gig, I got paid in buffalo wings and a drink ticket. So yeah, my Oscar's right around the corner. And my mom's super supportive, but she really wants to be a grandma, and I'm not sure I want to have kids, but she keeps dropping these hints. So like this one time we were at Macy's, and we passed by the baby section, and she stops, she holds up a little baby onesie, and she's like, sweeties, can you give up your dream so I can buy this now for my unborn grandchild? And I was like, sure, Mom, no problem. You just go have sex with the cashier and we'll be good to go. And she was like, oh, maybe we'll get this for free then. That could have gone better, these are the jokes, yeah. Straight up, like, you know, there's not a lot going on acting-wise right now, so I watch a lot of YouTube, but I don't like that the YouTube algorithm, it guesses what videos I want to watch, and I don't like that it's always correct, because I imagine the voice of that algorithm is like a mean, know-it-all Russian lady, who's like, here is Taylor Swift interview, you basic bitch. Oh, you watched the Tour de France? No, not for you. Instead, here is video of chimpanzee riding a Segway. And don't pretend you can't stop watching this man eating a cactus. And why is she always right? And I used to think Facebook could totally read my thoughts based on the ads they'd show me. But it turns out I am just a predictable basic bitch. I mean, I think they did get what they needed from the fact that I did list my political views as live, laugh, love. I'm not proud. I love the pity laugh. I appreciate you. Is anyone here on the dating apps? Anybody on the, yes, okay, what are we talking?
Facebook.
Yeah, Hinge, Facebook, Bumble, I was on all that shit. I'm not anymore, because for me they were so fake. You know, I want to see true stuff on men's profiles, like their medications, fears, how much I know they cried during the first 10 minutes of Pixar's Up.
Oh, just me.
And when I'm not on them anymore, but like when I try not to have sex on the first date, like I tended to do. If I was so horny, I'd cock block myself in advance. So here's what I do. I wouldn't shave my legs. I wear high-waisted cotton underwear. If it was really hot, to make sure I didn't take off my clothes, I'd Sharpie, "Will you marry me?" on my belly. And it was effective, which is actually sad, because if a guy has a boner, I don't want it to go to waste. I look at it like a ripe avocado. You know, I've got a short window of time to use it before it gets squishy. And who doesn't love guacamole? I'll look at your face. It's good for your skin. I promise it's good for your skin. But in terms of a relationship, I like to take time. This one dude I was seeing went way too fast. Like, we've been on 2 dates. On the third, he goes, I have to be honest, I love you. I was like, oh shit, I didn't love him, I just met him. I couldn't be an asshole about it, so I was like, I love this chair. I love that table. I love the world. And in that sense, I love you as well. But I think we should see other furniture. Sort of like a maraja, like I said, okay, that went okay. Yay, okay. So I didn't fully tell you why I was got off the dating apps. I did get a boyfriend from one of them, and now I'm engaged. Yeah, thank you so much. So I'm officially off the market. I mean, I was already in the clearance bin. But what's weird about you're so sick. You're like, oh no. What's weird about having a boyfriend is now I'm much more careful about what I say on stage because I want him to think I'm a saint. I want him to think I have never given a guy a blowjob in a bubble bath in my life. I mean, he's not here right now, so yeah, I did, and I almost drowned. Choking on lavender bubbles while diving for a penis. It's not the way I want to be remembered, so don't tell him. Thank you. But I did tell him I'd be talking about him on stage. He was so cool about it. He's like, listen, I'm a secure person. Say whatever you want. Just be sure you tell them I have a big dick. I said, well, I can't just come out and say you have a big dick. What if I just tell them my butt kind of hurts? Ain't no joke, yeah, ain't no joke. Sometimes people are like, oh no. And I'm like, what, you bought that I was, me diving for a dick in a bubble bath, but anal sex, that's too far? You guys are cool. You guys are cool. My fiance has this little cat that he spoils rotten. And I think it's sweet, He even got it a small fountain. Like a real drinking fountain that you plug in, water circulates and cascades down. Isn't that adorable? I just want to know, where's my fucking fountain? I prefer lapping up wine as it cascades down from a spigot directly into my mouth. Can my fiance give me one of those? Apparently not. But you know what? It's cool. It's cool. I can just buy myself a box of wine, right? Place it on a high shelf, turn the box on its side, and have the wine fall into my mouth. Yeah, I don't need him to buy me a fountain, right? Because that's reserved for his fucking cat. So anyway, what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, so my mom's super stoked I'm engaged, and we talk about everything. We're super tight. But I'm not sure talking about everything is the best idea. Like this one night, the first time she met my fiance, we were at dinner. A little lull in the conversation, and my mom blurts out, so, I heard you got laser hair removal for your back. What's that like? And I was like, oh shit, mayday, mayday, kept going forward. Without missing a beat, he goes, smooth like a seal. And I'm like, oh, he's a keeper. He's a keeper. Yeah, he's awesome. I was born and raised here, and growing up white in Hawaii, it wasn't until I moved for school to New York City that I saw so many other white people. Like, I was on the subway and I saw these 2 white men with polo shirts on and loafers, and they were acting so white. They were like, did you see the latest TED Talk on the benefits of grocery co-ops? Yes, I did. Outstanding. And did you read in the New York Times that flaxseed milk is the new must-have for the digestive system? And I was thinking, I was like, how'd you learn to talk like that? Hooked on douchebonics? Epic. What's interesting here is if you're dealing with a little bit of depression, people are like, oh, if you're sad, the vibe here is like, oh, if you're sad, just look up at the sky. And that's why I loved being a New Yorker, right? Because no one tries to cheer you up. Besides, if I did look up, a pigeon would just shit on my forehead. Let's see, oh yeah, okay, I gotta be real. I don't handle embarrassment well. This one morning in high school, my mom was driving me there, and we were at a red light, and it was Christmas time, so I was belting out a cappella, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, full blast, living my best life. Yes, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose like a light bulb. And I look out of my window, and the hottest guy in the whole fucking school is standing there just looking at me. I was so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do, so I look at him and I go, "Back me up on the chorus, motherfucker!" And then he looked embarrassed. So I was like, yeah. So now, straight up, whenever I mess up, I just double down and add motherfucker. Yeah, this one time I was, where was I? I was playing bingo, and this woman was being a lot. She was like, "Julia, you actually don't have bingo." And I was like, "No, you don't have bingo, motherfucker." And that's the last time they let me volunteer at the retirement home. It was brutal. But I love old folks. Like my grandma, total badass. She lived till she was 93, even though she drank like a fish, smoked like a chimney. So when she hit 90, I was like, "Grandma, what's your secret for living so long?" She was like, "Well, sweetheart, being a bitch." And I was like, wow. So what you're saying is, Betty White must be a total twat. It never quite hits that joke, but I still have faith in it. Yeah? You're like, okay, so I have been told I get way too happy about small stuff. This one time, my friend Janet, she handed me a popsicle. And I was like, "Wow, thanks, a popsicle." And she was like, "Julia, you get way too excited about stuff. A guy could flash you and you'd be like, 'Wow, thanks, a penis. Is it strawberry? How'd you get another stick?'" All right, we got one here. I gotta be real, like as I'm getting older, my body's changing and it's epic. It's happening fast. That's why when I was single, I didn't like dating men that worked out. I dated a guy that had a six-pack, and I was like, "Oh, I can't handle this contrast. I don't have a six-pack, I have an ice-pack, and it's melted." Yeah, when I'm done gnarly on my body, people are like, "No." So I gotta work on it. Okay. 2 more self-deprecating jokes. Here we go. Oh shoot, wait, I'm trying to remember this joke. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I have a little stretch mark on my tummy. And one time this dude I was seeing was like, "Oh, how'd you get that mark?" And I was like, "Well, I got jumped one night by a purse snatcher and I fought back, then I got stabbed." Which is much better than the real story. Oh, this one? I just ate an entire birthday cake and then didn't move. It's true. Okay. Anyway, I'm really envious of joggers. They're so motivated, they're getting their heart rate up, they're building muscle. Meanwhile, I'm watching them through my window eating my morning cake. But it's like my mid-morning cake I polished off a malasada at dawn. Nicole, you're so nice. You're like, "Oh yes, the malasada, yes." I'll just end on this. I've been on a diet the past few weeks and super disciplined, but this time is for me. I used to go on diets to look more attractive for men. So I realized my vagina works no matter what weight I'm at. And men love working vaginas. Mine still works great when I'm curvier. You might have to lift a few things to get there, but who doesn't love a treasure hunt? The guy can pretend to be a pirate. Be like, "I'm going to dive for the prize jewel." I don't know, the parrot on his shoulder could be like, "March, might not make it out alive. Aye, but it'll be an orgasm for the ages." Yeah, that's right. I'll give you an orgasm because, ladies and gentlemen, my pussy works. Okay, that's my time. Give it up for Nicole, she's a bad.
Oh my goodness, your impersonations are rated R. No, but I totally get you. I get pressure from my mom to have kids too. She's like, "Why don't you freeze your eggs?" And I'm like, "I can't even take care of a houseplant, so why is that a good idea? Like, I'm just gonna have the baby and then give it to you and be like, 'Hey bitch, like this is your problem.'" But that's so cool. You've also been on these TV shows. Like, I'm a huge fan of Law & Order SVU. I don't know if anyone watches that here. So it's like a crime show just based around like rape. And I've watched so much of it lately that I just want to like jump in the screen and I'm like, "Old homeless man, stop jerking off in that person's bedroom and wake up and get out of there." Anyway, like I need to get a new hobby. Next up, drum roll please. While the old man jerks off in your window, we have Brendan.
That's very nice. Thanks, Nicole. If you missed it earlier, Nicole was going on about. I went to college in New York, right? Went to Manhattan.
Hey.
And there's nothing that took me back to Manhattan than a woman from Staten Island going, I'm not racist, but the fucking Chinese, the fucking COVID, no, I'm not racist. Like, that takes me right back. She's taking pictures right now. That's all right, Heidi, man. No. That's the love language in New York. Plus some bull. I'm from Wahiawa. And Paco earlier was talking about how there's a really mathematical genius in Wahiawa, and he does not deserve to be there. He deserves to be in a private school. I say, fuck that. Wahiawa is just known for Wendy's. We were the first place to have a Wendy's. Fuck this kid's future. Give us him and a Frosty and improve our town reputation. All right. What was I going to talk about?
Yeah.
Yes, so I also act. I do a little bit of acting. Thank you. Oh, wow, thank you. So, yeah, my friend sent me she sent me a casting notice, and it was a global search for Asians, which begs the question, if you looked at a globe, how do Asians go missing? The whole globe is Asia. 6 billion Asians in India and China at home, and that's just India and China. Fuck, 6 billion people in China and India, and those are the people who just stayed home. The rest of us spread the fuck out. Like, you ever play a game as a kid? You spin the globe, and you're like, wherever my finger is gonna land, that's where I'm gonna live. You could do that with an Asian. You spin it, and whatever country it lands on, you're gonna find a country that has a Chinese restaurant. No matter what. That is the truth. And it's not even run by Chinese people. It's probably run by like Koreans too. We're everywhere. And you're having trouble finding Asian. You could look outside right now and find 2, at least. Are you Asian? Or are you? Half. See? Everywhere. Get some. Yeah, so what else is going on? I've been watching a lot of basketball lately, but NBA. It's dramatic, but a little too over dramatic. Like the way they build it up, like it's game 7, it's win or go home. It's like, yeah, you're gonna go home no matter what. Like you lose, you gotta go someplace to go, and if you win, I'm gonna go home. Like that's a great proposition. That's why I know I'd be bad as an NBA player. Cause like, all right, guys, game 7, win or go home. I'm like, yeah. But even if we put in our best effort, home sounds a great place too. Don't feel any pressure, guys, to win this game. Because at home, I got stuff in my fridge and my TiVo's recording. Okay? No, okay, Brandon, come on. All right. Yeah, game 7, win or go home. So let's say if we win though. Where do we go next? Like, well, if we win, we gotta go to Phoenix. No, let's go the fuck home. I'm not doing, okay. Sorry, guys, sorry. All right. So if we win in Phoenix, we go home but we still play, where are we going after? Milwaukee or Georgia? Fuck that, I'm not spending a summer in the deep south. That is too hot. Oh, what was that? Oh. I think that was like the voice of God going, man, you better move on from this bed. Here's my thoughts on COVID. My thoughts on COVID is that, oh God.
Aliens!
Wow.
Aliens!
I like Paco's aliens bit, because Paco's aliens bit is gonna fuck up them aliens. And then I think back to Independence Day 4, and what would happen if Paco was in Independence Day 4, where the president's like, today is our Independence Day, and Paco's in the back, we're gonna fuck up aliens, alright? And that's what gets the cheer. So my thoughts on COVID, before I run off into the alien shit. My thoughts on COVID is that God is punishing us, but he's out of practice, and Americans don't give a shit. So God is like, back in the day, one of my plagues would have shut down a country. The Egyptians freaked out, over 10 people dead, 600,000, and people still complaining that they can't watch Motley Crue in person. Shit! I'm throwing it out there. Yes, so my name's Brandon. I'm 35. That's right, Asian don't raisin. Asian don't raisin. Get some. It's actually my grandma. She looks good, but it's actually my grandma. So what's your name? Ayumi. Nice to meet you, Ayumi. And what's your name, sir? Stan. You just here to watch comedy?
I was born in Asia.
You were born in Asia. Where were you born in Asia?
Siberia.
Wow. I didn't know people left Siberia. You escaped? Good fucking job.
They can't anymore.
You don't go to Siberia twice. Have you been back? Oh shit.
Dual citizenship.
Yeah. See, you don't fuck with Eastern Europeans because that's a different kind of human. Like, they don't have daycare, they start them off in a work program. Right? Oh, damn, a lot of distractions. Yes, 35. When you find out when you get older, you become more accepting of your kinks, like sexually, and it's not something that freaks you out. This is what I learned. Walking, I see a woman doing yard work, and not sexually, like she wasn't in a pinstripe dress, like, "Ooh, I'm just gonna dig right here and do some work." It was like watching someone from the Depression era shovel coal. And I was like, I did not know I had that reaction. Like, huh? But it's not like, oh, I want to go over there and get buried in coal, use my chest as an ironing board. It was more like it's like how you find a dollar in your pocket that you never knew you had. Like, oh, well, shit, I might use that later, but it's good to know. That's what it's like with aging and finding out what you like. So I live with my grandma, and you find that dating, when you live with your grandma and you finally find someone to take home, it kind of makes it dangerous. Like, all right, we have to be quiet. You cannot wake up my grandma. And then for some reason, that's like, yeah. And you get into it, and it's a lot of whispering. It's a lot of big eye movements. I'm like, this is like Bridgerton. Oh my goodness, this is fun. The eyes get bigger. It's like, this, huh, okay. And yeah, we're working it out. Went right through it. But you also, my grandma, I love her. She ran like 7 marathons. She's very healthy, very heart conscious. She's like 80 now. She's a strong woman. But if she found out what went on in the bedroom, that might be the thing to kill her. What goes where and who did what? Who? Because I don't even know if they had good sex in the 50s. I think they just held hands and someone was in their 3rd trimester. I think that's how it worked. Like, now we got all this, electrical equipment and vibrators, and my grandma still had trouble turning on the remote. It's just not her generation. We're working it out. This is all new bits. Grandmothers. Oh, yeah. Grandmother's Asian. So, there's this thing where Asian elders are getting assaulted. And I look at my grandma, and I think, I do not want anyone hitting her if I am not there to film it.
Oh my God.
Because this lady in San Francisco made $900,000 because she filmed her grandma. So I've been taking my grandma everywhere. I took her to her chiropractor today. I went to the graveyard just wishing someone would hit my grandma, because nobody here will ever see $900,000 in their life combined. Like, look to your left, look to your right. Oh, Ayumi. For $900,000. Would you let someone hit your grandma?
She's dead.
Oh.
My grandma tough.
Grandma's tough?
Just hang it.
Yeah? Yeah. See, there's a plan. See, Asian, like nothing my grandma loves more than learning I'm financially secure, which I'm
I
not.
gotta work again.
So, if I tell my grandma, Grandma, come with me, I got a way to make money. Where are we going, Brandon? We're going job hunting. How much time is it? 6 minutes.
Knock it out.
Knock it out.
Literally.
Yeah, sports. I really like boxing. I like watching boxing. Yes. Because that shit is win or go the fuck home. You have to pay attention. I went with my friend. I was watching a boxing match in New York. I turned and talked to her, and someone died in the ring, I think. He was on the floor, and the crowd was like, yeah! Oh, shit. He wasn't moving either. I'm like, oh, well, goddamn. I know not to blink in boxing, and boxing is fucking hard. I used to box, and you think you're tough, and still someone's trying to hit you back, and they're gonna do it 3 minutes at a time for 3 rounds, and you realize in the first round, one, I'm not in shape, and 2, like, this is stupid. Why am I getting hit for free? I'm an amateur. No. Yeah. You know, I went there and where the fuck is my notes? I have all these pockets. And my set list. Thank you. It's from a journal. I don't like writing with lines in my journals. One line. Thank you. Yeah. Here. Isn't comedy hard? I'm gonna call it early. So thank you very much for the support. And let's give it up to Nicole.
Everyone give it up for Brandon. He's talking about New York love languages. As a New Yorker, I will tell you the love language is to keep your head down and don't fucking talk to anybody. Especially when you're on the subway. But you're talking about living with grandma. You know, I moved back home when I was 27 to live with my mother, and I can attest to that. The first thing she told me, she's like, don't bring any boys to the house. So in turn, I went back to being 17 and having sex in the backseat of cars. With that being said, Paco, where's my notebook, so? Where's my notebook? Do I look like I have a good memory? Because I don't. I hit my head very hard. Seriously, I have. And not because I play sports. I'm just very clumsy. As you saw, I fell into that mic stand. Nalo!
Oh my God!
Nalo! Everyone give it up for Nalo!
She gets the excuse because she's not from here. Nalo. She made me sound like I'm in the butt stuff. What happens when you deal with me? Some butt stuff happens. Some shit happens. It's okay, it's okay. You're not even from Hawaii. You get the pass. You get the pass. Nalo. It's like if you fuse Nalo and J-Lo all at the same time. I might actually have an ass back and shit. I'd be just as Puerto Rican though, I'll fucking tell you that. Yeah. Fucking orale! Fucking Puerto Ricans, I'm gonna tell you right now, Puerto Ricans are like the Hispanic rainbow. Because you could be any fucking color and you're Puerto Rican. Fucking you. Look at me. Thank you for being polite, but fucking look at me. I am Puerto Rican. You could be brown, you could be straight popolo, that's Hawaiian for black. You could be popolo, and you still Puerto Rican. Straight up. Puerto Rican, we're like the Hispanic Caribbean smoothie deluxe. All the shit from over there we got mixed in. We got the Taino, which are the native people from Puerto Rico. We have the Spanish, which are the conquistadors, which are the white folk. And then you have the slaves they brought. Mix all that shit together, you get, hey! Boricua! 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 Hey! I love that shit. Fucking, I'm like a smoothie that was already good, and then fucking Jamba Juice decided to throw their shit in on it. Because they fucking decided, they're like, nah, this motherfucker needs to be Hawaiian, throw some Portuguese in that motherfucker. I heard that mixes well with Puerto Rican. Shit. We'll throw a little bit of Asian that came with the Hawaiian. You kind of help. Just that little dab of shoyu a little bit. For real though, shoyu, I didn't know this growing up, but apparently shoyu is as Asian as you can fucking get. And I learned this when Oriental all of a sudden became not the thing for say about Asian people. And that's how you can tell when you're certain age. Because if you're a certain old age, like my grandfather, he'll tell you, he used to love them Oriental girls. You don't really do that nowadays. I was in Walmart and I was looking for the Oriental flavor of Saimin, or ramen as it's called. Sorry, Chinese call them Saimin. That's how it is. So I was looking for the Oriental flavor ramen. You can't find Oriental flavor anymore because Oriental is a bad word. It's soy sauce flavor. And I seen that shit, I was like, so soy sauce is Oriental this whole time? Like you couldn't be Asian without having shoyu? Holy shit. Okay. Damn. Woke comes with a price. You find out shit. I'll tell you that. But thank you for having me today. I'm loving coming over here to King's Pizza. I'm gonna fucking tell you. Pizza is good. And they don't care you drink as long as you bring your own shit. Get it. Because they know. It's a formula. Formula that works. 2 beers and equivalent amount sliced pizza depending who the fuck you is. My ass is a fat man in a skinny man's body. I used to be very chunky. But I still eat like I'm big. I still eat like I'm big. It's one thing you don't get rid of. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Look at any motherfucker. I bet you right now, Jared from Subway still ate the shitload of sandwiches. Okay, he's skinny, but how much he's still eating though? And I eat Subway, and then guess what? I'm still hungry. Why am I going Zippies after that? Motherfucker. Fuck that. I ain't getting the endorsement to buy that motherfucker. Endorse me, fucking. Man, a poke spot needs to endorse me. I will be the best motherfucker ever. I will get poke every day, do a Facebook Live, Instagram fucking story. I don't even fucking care. Shit. I'll do one of those fucking quick little fucking, you know, those fucking Facebook fucking. Motherfuckers usually, you know, just swipe or they press, whatever the fuck it is, you know. I did one for Father's Day because I know a lot of my homies, you know, they tell me, oh, happy Father's Day, because I have kids. I'm one of those kids, I'm one of those fuckers, never know if I'll pull out, I'm sorry. But I get some kids, I get a couple for sure that I know about. And, you know, my homies be like, hey, happy Father's Day, my brother, happy Father's Day. But choke of them no more kids, so, you know, I told those fuckers, I was like, hey, you know what? If your chick call you daddy, happy Father's Day, my brother. Happy Father's Day.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You gotta make shit count. You gotta look for shit and make it count. I'll tell you right now, motherfuckers, I love it when I see people who are together and they're happy because you know deep down inside, thems be fucking. Thems be fucking. In Hawaii, we call it oofing. Oofing. My wife don't like it because she says it sounds physical and violent. And I'm just like, baby, you don't fucking tell me you don't like that little bit violent. If you hit it hard enough to oof, you was oofing. You was oofing. As a reference, if a large Polynesian man asks you if you like oof, that means that's their way of asking if you down for bang. And not just bang, but oof. You gotta be prepared for that shit. Come correct. I'll tell you right now. A lot of girls come here from the mainland and all elsewhere, from Asia and Europe, and they come here thinking, oh my God, look at that. I need to get me an oiled brown boy wielding a torch and spinning it. That's sexy. That, I need to find one of those. Then they find a fucking brown man and now they live here. Now they live here. Maybe not a choice, maybe not, you know, automatically at first, but, you know, fucking, you have a kid now, so, you know, that helps. Motherfucker done popped one inside you like a fucking coconut. Coconut can go about any fucking ocean, and as soon as it hits sand, that motherfucker will plant. That's Polynesian. As long as that seed lands somewhere, we go plant. It's a bad and a good thing. Sometimes you don't want that bitch to plant, but you know, kind of help. Shit happen. So I have 2 kids that I know of for sure. I got my oldest. He goes by Fresh. I was like, okay, Fresh. I like that. Bitches like Fresh. It's like a nice thing. That might get a female even more attractive. Like, oh, okay, he's fresh. Okay. At least I know he ain't stank. Or Lil nothing. Stop calling your name Lil shit. My youngest calls himself Lil Nalo. Because he looks like I made him myself. I spat that child out my damn self. He looks like me, but that tall. And no facial hair. Imagine that. Fucking got some brains thinking in this bitch. What? That didn't always have facial hair? No, Portuguese, as soon as the puberty hits, we have hair. Portuguese, we some hairy motherfuckers. There's something that's a fact. That's a fact. We got hair. My mom's, God bless her. My mom's told me, even growing up, she goes, don't worry, boy, don't worry. You can still be attractive to women and hairy. It's okay. Your grandfather had 2 hairs on his chest, and that was it. But his arms and legs were hairy as fuck. But the trick was, don't have hair on your back. Thank you, Jesus. I got hair everywhere motherfucking else. Everywhere but my back. Thank you, God. Whatever God is responsible. Fucking Jesus. Anyone. Whoever needs to fucking, whoever's due. Shit. If you know, tell me. That motherfucker owes. Man, you don't need, being hairy, it's a little hard to still be attractive. Especially when you're hairy and big. Because like I said, I used to be fat. I used to be a fat motherfucker. Fucking 1 tubby, 2 tubby, do the shuffle, all that shit. That was me as a kid. Motherfucker do the shuffle. That truffle got shuffled the fuck up. I was big. I was a large child. Through the miracle of fucking somehow fucking. Okay, fucking story time. Okay, you want to know the secret? You don't want to know the secret? You don't want to know the secret. The secret, cocaine. Damn, you from New York on point. Shit. Cocaine. I didn't know about cocaine until I started hanging out with brothers from New York. For real. These motherfuckers I was like, hey, you smoke weed? Yeah, we smoke weed. Oh, you do shrooms? Oh, shrooms ain't for niggas. What? Yo, shrooms. Every single one of them, verbatim. Shrooms ain't for niggas. No. But cocaine? Shit. Where's it at though? Who got it? Motherfucker, no. The secret to losing a bunch of weight is getting into a moped accident and having your jaw wired shut because you done broke that bitch. I straight up. This bitch was all fucking, I was like Frankenstein, just, hi guys. Oh yeah, arm broken in the fucking, I was like fucking Stephen Hawking. Fuck. But the side effect to that is you can't eat shit when your jaw's broken and your jaw's wired shut. If it ain't liquid, it ain't going in you. Look at them hoes over there just fucking amping up like, oh, I see a loophole. No, smoothies, shakes, motherfucking soup. I got so desperate for real food, real talk on the realest motherfucking talk. My mom's had one of them real on point blenders, one of them fucking NutriBullet motherfuckers. And I took a whole Lao Lao and some poi and a little bit of water and shoyu to make it just liquidy enough to drink. And I blended that whole motherfucker up. Lao Lao, poi, shoyu, water. My mom was looking at me like, are you sure? And I'm like, fuck smoothies! Jamba Juice needs to die! Fuck them, I need food! I put that whole bit, and it was warm too. You can't drink it cold. It was warm. It was warm, Lao Lao. Don't get it fucking twisted. It was warm. I put that whole bitch in a gallon Ziploc bag, cut a corner off that bitch, and I was like a Lao Lao titty. And I was in fucking Hawaiian heaven. I had ascended to fucking live with the gods. I was like, boy titty with the Lao Lao. And I was the happiest I ever fucking been until they finally took those motherfuckers out. But I went from a fat ass motherfucker to a little bit skinnier than what I am now. I am what you have the dad bod. When you find a good enough woman that knows she needs to fuck your brains out and still feed you, you achieve the dad bod. Once you achieve the dad bod, don't stress about it. That's an achievement. Wear that bitch proud. I got a t-shirt, dad bod. That just means you was good enough for keep. You was good enough to, ain't no woman putting dad bod on a dude whose shit don't make sounds. Like, hey baby, how you doing? Like that shit better make a sound, dad bod. Anyway, motherfuckers, you guys is all nasty as shit and I love it. Thank you everybody for having me. This is King's Pizza. Paco. Yeah, you motherfucker. Boricua! Hey! Gotta make it swing like that. Hey! Hey!
Nalo, everyone. I got it right this time. Nalo.
Long A.
Nalo. See, I'm the white girl in Hawaii. I'm part of the problem. I am the fucking problem.
Like you taking.
Nalo.
I'm fucking on my big dick, like, nah.
Nalo. 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 I have like a little move with that. So, I'm fucking sorry about mispronouncing your name.
You got the pass, you good.
I used to work at an ESL school and I worked with Japanese kids and you had to hear the New York accent coming out trying to pronounce these names. Like these poor kids, I felt horrible.